So, in the previous classes, we have learned building the website. What is next? Will building the website alone suffice for the business requirements? So, but this is a common misunderstanding between most of the people. They think once the website is done, they will start seeing the business. They'll start getting the business. There was an era with website you were getting some business, but now it doesn't happen that way. It doesn't work that way. You need to implement. See, just website. They used to build a website and they will, yeah, yeah. Call them inside, no? The Amulya and the, so people used to build website and leave it, and Google used to crawl it, index it, and start show on the Google, and people were getting business. So in 2012 or 13 also, I built one website called simplyrent.in. Simplyrent.in, where you can we were renting out the refrigerators, washing machines, TVs, not just home appliances, anything, right? So we did not do anything. We just launched the website and left it, and it got indexed on Google search, and we were getting the calls, phone calls. We used to get the phone calls, right? So that's how it used to work, right? So today that's not the scenario. Search engines have changed a lot. So you must have seen people approaching you for service to you going back to them. Okay, I'll take a common example that's easily understandable, right? In some communities for marriage, uh, there was a huge demand for, huh? No, not matrimonial sites. Take the offline scenario, right? So there were abundant matches. So in few countries there will be abundant matches for girls, and in few countries there will be abundant matches for boys, right? If you take India, so once upon a time in some communities, boy was able to find a girl easily, and today that's not the scenario. There is a drastic change in the proportion population woman-man ratio and the expectations and requirements as well. Okay, so this being the reason, so now what happened? Situations have changed, right? Right. So same way, you understand this example, right? Same way, so when there was scarcity of content or information, Google was able to visit your website, give importance to your website, crawl, index it, and when somebody was searching pest control services near me, Google used to show your website. But now there are thousands of websites which are providing that service. Millions every year, millions of websites are getting registered. There is content in abundance for Google search. Are you all getting this? So now Google has choice. Google, if Google has to know how a girl or boy gives so much of requirements to find the right match, same way now Google has a huge requirement list, right? So now to get started with search engine optimization, if you want to make your website rank on Google, show up on the Google, you have to understand the psychology of search engines, how they work, the functionalities of the search engine, the technical aspects of the search engines, right? So we are going to discuss a topic for which you will not find the answer or solution anywhere on the internet. If somebody is explaining how this works, it has to be either Kanda Digital or anybody of this pertaining to this organization, or people must have worked with me in the past. So these are the only people who can explain how the search engine functions. If you go and Google or if you go to YouTube and search how search engine function, people will give you some random explanation or very generic explanation, right? But then today we are going to discuss the technicalities, right? The logical functionalities of how search engines function. If you can master this, you're going to find everything very easier, right? So without learning a plus b whole square formula, you cannot solve hundreds of problems. You can hardly buy at one and you can solve it, correct? The moment you master the formulas, you'll be able to solve hundreds of problems, correct, everybody? So now the topic that we are going to discuss is mostly like a formula which will help you to solve hundreds of problems. Without learning this, you will find it difficult to solve the problems. This is where SEO industry is stuck. People are learning things blindly. So, for example, I'll take the common things. Usually, in most of my classes, I'll be discussing something that's common in all of our lives. While having the food, elders say not to speak, or anybody will say, do not speak while having the food. Why you should not be speaking while having the food?
The food gets stuck.
So biologically, technically, there is a valid reason, correct? Right? It's the same channel through which you communicate, and the esophagus and both the food both goes to the same channel, and the consequences are different. But what our elders used to say, I don't know. Our father was telling, our grandfather was telling, and I am also following it. Right? At least by following this, there is no harm in it. Correct? But there are many hundreds of things you cannot blindly follow them, and they are no more relevant in this current generation. They are no more relevant in this current generation, right? So for example, I think some communities in India, maybe Hindus, right? So this half moon day, Amavasya, right? People used to tell not to go outside or do not do anything on that day. There was a solid reason. Why? Because there was no electricity back then, right? Back then there was no electricity and there's no moonlighting as well on that particular day. And when you go outside, you find it difficulty, right? There can be any kind of hole on the road. You might fall into it, or you might hit, or you might fall on a stone. Anything can happen. So better avoid going out. Today it is no more relevant when there is abundance lighting. Cutting nails, right? So this is a real scenario. So elders say not to cut the nails in the home, because these nails, when they fall into the food and if you consume, they don't get digested, and that will create stomachache and various kinds of other problems, hair and nail both. They are not easily digestible, and hence people tell not to cut in the home, go outside and cut it, or throw it outside, or do not do in the dark, because you won't be able to find where it spills falls, right? Now I have seen one of my cousin who was at the farm, accidentally his nail got torn. He took it, he went 1 kilometer far and he threw it out of his farm. So, see, people take it so wrongly. See, people used to use this word, Dhalinder, Daridra, these kinds of words, right? So, if it is in the home, see, it's nothing but it's bad. So, it just indicates, that word indicates it's just, it might cause something bad to you, right? If it is falling in the food at the home, it's bad. What is the problem when it falls in the farm? So people don't have the right understanding. Just exactly the same is happening in SEO, and that's why SEO industry is, people are not really able to implement the things in the right way. They are blindly implementing few things, hoping that it will work, and now it's a probability case. It might work or it may not work. Correct? But when you go with the right formula, when you understand everything thoroughly, rightly, the chances of you failing is negligible, or you won't fail, I will assure you. Right? So now in order to make a website, show up on Google like this, if you intend to show you, these are ads, forget about the ads, we'll discuss how these ads work, right? But then if you see, now this is one thing which we are going to discuss, our website show up here in the top, and what is needed, right? We're going to understand all of that.
Actually, when I searched in Google, HSR digital marketing store, so I found your
our listing in the top.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll show it to you. We will be in the top. In Bangalore also we show up. In HSR also we show up. So now incognito doesn't have the history. It's showing here for me. For you, it must have shown in the top. Okay, that's okay. Okay. So now if you are dealing with search engines and making your website rank in the Google, you have to learn how search engines function first, right? We'll get started with the definition of search engines and the objectives of the search engines, and how do search engines benefit, right? Search engines are serving so much information to you, right? How do they benefit, right? Okay, before that, let's discuss the definition. What is search engine?
searching information in the platform.
Let you explain the difference between browser and search engine.
Yes.
When search engine is Google, Chrome, and thing where you type something and you get the
Search
information.
engine is simply a repository of information, right, attached with a program or an engine which allows you to query the database and get the information.
Everything got bounced.
Okay. So search engine is simply a repository of information, right? Repository of information is you have stored some information, a storage space. Search engines comprises two parts. One is storage of information, and second one it accepts the query. Query is you are asking where is the best digital marketing institute in India or in Bangalore or in HSR, and it is serving you some results. So this is called as an engine. The process from starting from you asking a query. So you will ask the query. So for you it's so simple. You are just asking a query. So if I ask you, can you explain what is a browser? For me, it's so simple. I just ask you a query. For you, you are triggering your previous discussions, memory. You are recalling your memory, correct? Past discussions, and then you are trying to phrase it. There is so much happening, right? So exactly the same happens with this as well. We call that as technically we call all this as engine, right? It's a program. It's a program. What is a program again? Program is a piece of code, right? Piece of code to perform a specific task or a function, right? What is the specific task here? Google has to bring the information and serve here onto this web page. It is so simple for us, but in the background so much is happening, right? So if a person is scolding you stupid, it is not just stupid word coming out. There is so much running in the background, right? I'm taking wrong examples, right? So, same way, if search engine is displaying all this information, it's not that easy or simple. There's so much happening, right? So we are going to understand what is that happening, what is it considering. If a person is appreciating you or scolding you, what exactly is happening? If somebody stops speaking to you, you think so much about them, right? What went wrong? Why they are not speaking to me? Correct? You think so many things, correct? So same way there is a lot happening in the background. We are going to understand that. Okay. So now search engine is a repository of information and a piece of program or code which is allowing you to query and get the information. Right? Any platform that does this is called as search engine. Right? On Big Basket website you will see a search engine, a search option. It allows you to search, get the information. That is also a search engine, right? The difference is Big Basket is a marketplace and they have just got the engine component and it is not called a search engine. They just have got that engine. We simply call it as a engine is built. A search engine is built, but it is not a search engine. It is allowing you to search, but it's a marketplace, right? If Big Basket was also indexing the information by itself and displaying the results, we would have called it a search engine. But Big Basket is a marketplace. It allows various people, they sell their own products and allow various other people to upload the products and sell them. Amazon allows various people, business owners to upload the products and sell them. It's called as marketplace, right? Clear? Right. Okay. So now, so anybody has any idea what the search engine consider or do to show your website in the top?
Keywords.
Don't you think this website which is showing in the fourth page has keywords? Don't you think this pages has keywords? All of them have the keywords, right? So the common answers that you get to hear on the internet is domain age, crawl frequency. It's not, sorry, not crawl frequency, domain authority, right? Keyword, all these are wrong. People, right? So people give answers like domain authority, content, keywords, right? No, everybody has it. For example, if I search, nothing
So
plays.
what is domain authority?
We'll discuss that, right? But you get to hear. See now, if I ask you the question, buy shoes online, Mintra, Neiman's, right? There's so many players ranking here on the Google. Don't you think these people have digital marketers working with them? Every brand has digital marketers, and these SEO professionals are paid in lakhs every month. A single SEO professional, SEO manager will be paid several lakhs a month, right? Every organization has an SEO professional and not just one or two people. They'll have few tens of people working for these brands. correct? And when they are investing so much, obviously whatever you are telling, keyword, content, everybody would have taken care, right? But still, why a specific website is ranking in the top?
Sponsors and reviews.
We are not speaking about the sponsors. These are ads. Sorry, these are not ads. These are not ads. So we are not speaking about the sponsorship. We are just speaking about the organic results. We are not playing to any platform. We are just speaking about why is Google showing.
Reviews, sir.
No, no, no.
Traffic.
It's not reviews. It's not traffic. It's not content. It's not keywords. It's not backlinks. Right? So before that, let's also quickly understand the source of income for Google and Google's main objectives or goals. Right? So Google is serving so much information, correct, for the last decade, for few decades, right? So why is it doing? Is it doing the charity? How is Google benefiting out of this? It is crawling your website, indexing your website. It means it's seeing your website and showing your website on Google search results when somebody is asking for best digital marketing training institutes. It's showing your website and many other similar websites. And how is Google benefiting out of this?
Ads.
Yes, ads. Google in 2023 earned 276 billion only from ads. 276 billion dollars, not INR. Right? The total revenue was less than 350 billion, and out of which 70 to 75 percentage is only from ads. Right? See, Google made, so it's as simple as this. So, for example, let's say HSR is empty, nobody is coming to this area, right? And now, if you have to sell a space for hoarding, do you think anybody will buy that hoarding space? Are you all following me? HSR is deserted. There's no one in HSR, no buildings, no construction, nothing at all. And in this place, if you are looking for, let's say all this 100 acres property is owned by you, and if you are inviting anybody to put a hoarding, can you expect people to prefer to put a hoarding in the space? Or even if they prefer, do you think they will pay a good amount? Why?
Because there's no people.
Right, exactly. So the search engines have built to get the traction first, to audience first. They want more people to be using it. So now it shows, it says, see, this is being used by millions of your target audience, and you can put your ad. If it is not offering it for free for other, if it is not showing free results, no business would prefer to display their website, correct? Getting it, everybody? So, for example, if a news channel starts running ads from morning to evening, will you switch to it? Will you watch it? What is the source of revenue for news channels? Ads. 1 minute ads that they play in between earns crores of rupees for them. Should they get greedy and run this ads from morning to evening now? How is they getting this earning? Because they are bringing value for the public. They are getting interesting content for the public, right? And that's how they're able to build the audience, correct? And now they are monetizing or encashing this audience who are using it. Exactly the same is happening with search engines. They are not doing it for charity. They want people to be using it. If people have to use it, it has to become useful for people, right? So I'm asking, who is the father of the nation? And Google should be able to tell me who is the father of the nation. Otherwise, I'm not going to use, correct? If I'm asking buy shoes online, Google should be able to show it to me. Otherwise, I'm not going to use it. Now, Google made people be dependent on it, correct? And now it is earning money not from us, from business owners, correct? Every day, few millions of searches happen on Google. Okay, right. So now Google works on very strong objectives or goals or principles, whatever you want to call it as. The first goal of Google is to serve relevant content. If you're typing buy shoes online, it has to show the websites which are selling shoes, but not the website or the content which is speaking how shoes are manufactured or who is the top manufacturer of the shoe in the country. Will you be really interested in that? You are desperate to buy a shoe and you prefer to see a website like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, Jabong, Tata Sale like you, right? Couple of other websites, correct? And not really. One second. Hello. Okay. Right? Your expectation is to see relevant content, relevant website, right? So it has to serve your purpose, right? Second objective, you understand the first objective? It has to serve relevant information, and second objective is it has to be up to date. I'll give you an example of up to date. I'll give you an example of what does an up to date mean. So, for example, let's say you all know the Salman Khan drove car on people sleeping on the platform. And do you know which year is that? Okay, let's assume it's a decade back. Okay, decade back. So he drove car on people, right? And now same incident happened again. Let's assume. I'm not hoping. Okay, let's assume simply. Okay. So again, there will be a news about him, right? People will start searching Salman Khan accidents. If Google is showing 10 years back information, will you trust Google? Will you prefer if using Google? Now Google has responsibility of serving up-to-date information. Have you ever seen or noticed on Google it says 2 minutes back or 1 minute back the news is indexed. So I'll search Bangalore's news, or you go to a news, you will see few minutes back the news content would have got indexed. Not about shoes. 1 day ago, you will see minutes back also. Three minutes ago, right? 3 minutes ago, 15 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 24 hours ago, 19 minutes ago. See, look at this. So Google has built its algorithm in such a way, it should be in a position to serve, to pick the content immediately. Sometimes just 1 minute, you must have published and the next moment that news will be on the Google. One is relevancy, second one is up to date, and there's one more objective of Google. What is that? The end user's goal or purpose has to be fulfilled. You are coming to Google searching buy shoes online and you have landed on Myntra website, but you are not able to buy the shoe from Myntra. If you are not able to buy, your service, your purpose is served. Not served, madam. I'm nodding it like this.
No, I'm just thinking.
You are typing buy shoes online and have visited Myntra website and you couldn't buy a shoe from Myntra. Is your purpose fulfilled now? Your objective, your goal is fulfilled now? Your goal is to buy a shoe, correct? A pair of shoe, correct? Your purpose is not fulfilled, correct? So if it is not fulfilled, again this will impact on Google's revenues. So if Google is not able to serve relevant content, up-to-date information, and if it is not able to fulfill the purpose of the end user is all people Googling. Google will see a drastic drop in their revenue. People will stop using Google. Are you all getting this? Which are the three goals, objectives, or purposes Google is working on?
Relevant information.
Stay updated.
And satisfying the
Serve the purpose of the end user. You have typed a tattoo studio near me. If it is showing photo studio, if it has landed, you have landed. Okay, it has shown just studio. You have clicked on it, right? It has tattoo studio information as well, but they are not doing tattoos currently. Once upon a time, they must be doing, and that's what was there on Google's mind as well, and hence it showed its website, right? That's what happens with this e-commerce website. You will type buy shoes online, you will land on the website, but it will be out of stock, correct? Or it takes so much of time, ringa, loading, right?
So what happens in that case? If,
Huh.
so Google will blacklist or
Google will not blacklist. Why will it blacklist?
so usually what happens in a meta ad, if you put a wrong information like which is not matching to
See,
the
there are differences. Policy violation is different, right? and you not doing to its best is different,
Okay.
right? You coming late to class is not a policy violation, but you coming to the class and slapping someone here, murdering someone here, or disturbing everyone is a policy violation.
Yes.
If you're coming late to class, nothing is going to happen. You might lose.
Yes.
I will not lose, or anybody sitting here will not lose anything. The same happens. Google is not going to blacklist you if you are not really serving the end user's purpose, but there will be adverse effects of it. We'll discuss those things as well. But for now, you remember Google has to serve these three objectives. He works on these three goals or objectives, which are the relevancy, up to date, and end user's final goal or objective has to be.
So if somebody like I have
Yeah.
opened my classes and I don't run now,
You have.
my classes and my website don't run now, then what happens in that case?
So in
How
that.
will the Google
Get to
that
know.
I am
Yes,
not doing
yes, 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 yes. We'll come then. We'll be discussing that now. I'm getting started. You all remember this? These are like formulas. These three things what we have discussed are like formulas. Nobody discusses these things. There are a few more interesting things we are going to discuss. How it all works. Okay. Right. Now coming to search engine's functionality. Right. So you see Google displaying lots of information here. Correct. Right. So Mm, my full name is Manjunath Chaudhary Kanta, right? Can you tell me what is my full name? You are able to repeat it or spell it because I have told it to you, correct? But how is Google showing all these websites or information to the public?
So it's told the same.
Who told? How did it get this information? How did you get my full name information? I have told it to you, correct? But Google is showing. That's how you are able to tell. If somebody asks who is this person teaching you, you'll be able to tell the name, correct? So now Google is displaying so many websites on the search results, right? How did Google get this information? You cannot rely on somebody. Somebody will not come and make you rich. Somebody will not come and make you knowledgeable, right? Who? I have given it to you. It's very easier to understand. But when it comes to search engine, so how is search engine getting this data to show up on the Google? Amazon and Flipkart are very easy. You're opening an account, you're uploading all your products there. It's a marketplace. But Google doesn't work that way. You have pest control website, right? Rishi Pest Control. So now your website has not yet optimized for search engines. Otherwise, your website Rishi Pest Control, where is dot in? Yours is dot in, right? That's what I told. It's not that easy. Now, if it has to show on Google, see, it is not showing even for the brand term. Now, think of it ranking for pest control Bangalore. See, we call it as brand term. Searching people using your business name is a brand term. And that is only one term, Rishi Pest Control. But when it comes to non-brand, people will search pest control services in Bangalore, pest control in HSR, pest control in Kormangala, pest control or cockroach control or bedbugs control, right? You have responsibility of making your website to show up for various hundreds of terms like this. That's when you will get more business, right? So now Google has not indexed your page, not even for the brand term, right? So we recently built this website. Let's see if this has got indexed. We recently built. Yes, it has got indexed, but not with the we recently built this website also for one of the client. Even this is not indexed, right? No, but fact is it's not showing up for this term, but it's indexed. The agilespark.net. So how did Google get this information? You have launched a website newly in the last week or yesterday, and Google already has that information. It is working much faster than
You said no.
any government official's work, huh?
You said no. Google has that algorithm that it takes. It is
How is it taking? Algorithm is doing a phone call to you or sending a postcard that
They
you.
publish on the website.
No, they will be assigning with Google, so they'll be having the information. Any information you have to register in Google, right? If you want to follow. That is a platform. Obviously, everyone search.
No.
If it is connected to internet,
Domain
obviously
name,
that will.
if you buy that information is going to.
So, on domain name,
When you buy and all, and when you try to publish a website, that information is going to Google.
who told? Don't go to Google. You are here in HSR layout. Has your complete information gone to HSR police station or to any HSR BDA Buddha? What is that?
And if I buy something, if I buy a flat, definitely it's as good as like that, no? If I buy my flat, then definitely they will have some information about me.
Not like that. So how is Google getting this information? Huh? How is it getting that information? How is Google getting information? Good thing is, I was speaking about initial stages of Google, right? Here, Google has just simply indexed this website. It's there. The website information is with Google. It's not showing for training company. It is just showing for when you search agilespark.net. Skill dots. See, it's showing. This was built last year. Um, hello. Okay. So how is Google getting this information? Who is giving this information? Huh?
Database.
What data is from there?
No, actually, when we make any, when we collect any websites, it will store in
It is stored in your database. See, for example, your photos are stored in your server, on your computer or on your phone. Right? Google will have your photos now. It cannot, right?
But if we, but it will be stored in Google Photos.
It's not public, right? This is public. So first thing, you are hosting your website on the internet server. Indicates that anybody can access this content. Correct?
Yeah, that's what I told you.
No, but I have asked how did Google get it? What I'm asking.
Yeah, if it is connected to internet, so it will circulate. That is.
See, information is there on
internet.
It won't get circulated. No, it won't get circulated.
No,
It's not a daily newspaper to get circulated. It won't get circulated.
Okay.
The information is on the internet now. How did Google get that information is the question.
No, what I'm telling you, it is I have a phone, this phone, which I have the information,
Okay.
which is not connected to internet.
Okay.
Now if I connect to the internet, which is on the public cloud, so obviously that my information will get leaked to.
I'm asking the technicalities. How not leak this anybody can take. How is Google getting this information? It is on internet.
Yeah.
See, your website is there on internet since the day you have launched. Was I knowing about it until you tell? I did not knew, right? Anybody knew about his website? Now, same as the scenario. There is no difference between me and Google or anybody here. Google works like human beings. How did Google get to know about your website? Your website is Foxy Inc. BLR.
Yeah.
So this is the one. So how did Google get to know about this? It's on the internet. I didn't know.
I have
Told to
feeded
Google.
the information on the Google, this information.
From where?
Uh,
Google Business System.
From the, yeah.
Google Business System you have submitted.
Yeah.
Right? That is one of the way 99% of the times. So we'll discuss how Google functions. Even if you're not providing information, Google will have it. Right? So for this, Google, if you understand, you search for any random thing, Google will show some results. You type any random thing, Google will show some results. Right? So it means Google has to be having that information. Right? Their main goal is to serve relevant information, relevancy with regard to your query, or basically their goal is to serve information, right? So what they have done is they have written a small program, right? The work of this program is the work of this program is to go to the internet, read all the information. Internet is not just your website. Millions, billions, millions of websites are on the internet server. Millions, billions of files are on the internet. So this keeps, it's something like this. You're walking on the street, right? While you are walking, whatever comes to your notice, you will take a copy. If I ask you how many tattoo studios are there in this road, you will be able to tell. If I ask you how many bakeries are there in this road, you'll be able to tell. If I ask you how many movie theaters are there in this road, you'll be able to tell me. If I ask you how many tea stalls are there, you won't be able to tell full, right? With regard to any question, bakeries or tea stalls or salons, beauty parlors or whatsoever, if you have observed all of it, so here you have to understand is while you are walking, you are taking a copy, your eyes are seeing it, taking a copy of it and sending it to your brain, and you are storing them, correct? Correct? You understand this? Is there any guarantee that you will be seeing every single bakery in the street? Whatever is coming to your visibility, you will be seeing them and storing it in your memory. And when I ask you how many bakeries are there, or can you tell me the nearest bakery, you will be able to recall, okay, there's one here, and be able to tell, right? So same way, the program, Google has written a program. The work of this program is to wander, keep moving, read all the content or information on the internet, right? And what it does is it takes a copy of it, it takes a snapshot of it, copy of it, a photo of it, and brings a copy and sends a copy to Google server. Google server is again a storage space, right? It is storing all the information. Let me open a view. So it is storing all the information in this server, right? And when you ask for it, it is providing that information to you, right? So now there are technical jargons used for this. This piece of what is it doing? The work of this code or piece of program is to go to internet, crawl. We call it as crawling. You must have seen Tom and Jerry, right? The small baby keeps crawling. It has no direction. If the the rat comes and places the plank, the baby goes on the plank. If it changes the direction, the baby. See, crawling has no one particular direction. Based on the path, it keeps moving. It's like water stream is flowing, a single stream of water is coming, and when there are five different streams, paths, it just moves to five different paths also. Exactly the same happens with this program, with this piece. We simply call it as bot. It is called as bot. And this program is written by Google, and hence it is called as Google bot. So,
Spider bot is the
same thing. People call crawler or spider on the same. Correct? So now this Googlebot's work is go to the internet servers, read all the information. Now in its language, it's not reading, it's crawling. Bot goes to the server, crawls the information, and gets a copy to sends a copy to Google server. I'll show it to you. Okay. So now this copy sent to Google server is properly organized, stored. So Google has, this is very slow. I'll write it as Internet server, then Google server, Google front end. Okay, so okay, so I might have to draw the lines. Okay, let's not waste time on this. Just quickly I'll find Okay. So now the information from internet server is brought to Google server. Okay. And it is all stored here. And now this is front end that you see, right? Google search. Google search and that search box. When you search for it, there has to be two rows. A request goes from your browser, from the search engine front end to back end, and it is sent back to. It is as simple as this. On your contacts list, you go to the mobile, there will be a search box, you will type alphabet A, it pulls all the contacts. Where are these contacts stored? Either on the SIM memory or on the phone memory. Correct? Here, there is such memory here. On your phone, you are manually feeding all the contacts by yourself. Correct? But in this case, Google itself has built a program. It is getting it by itself, all of it by itself. It has sent a program which is going, I have to put one more arrow mark here, right? So it goes to the internet server, reads all the files, information, and gets back a copy here and stores them here. And when you ask for something, when you type for something, it shows you the results. Maybe if I put an image here, I'll do it later.
Basically the search engine.
Search engine, this is Google front end. This.
That is only search engine.
No. This is just the front end. This is Google website, google.com. This is like amazon.com or flipkart.com. This is just the Google front end. Google front end alone will not make it search engine. This is just allowing you to query, but the main 99.99% of your search engine is bots going, getting information, storing it on the server, right? And from the server, the information is sent to front end. Now I am searching for SFMC training in Bangalore, right? So this query went to this place, where this query, what I have put here, went to this place. It found all the websites which matches with the term SFMC training and bought it back and displayed it here. That is what is happening here. SFMC training in Bangalore. It went to its backend onto the server, right? And it bought that information and displayed it to us here. So now the question is, when there are so many websites speaking about SFMC training, all these companies are providing SFMC training, why is that Google displaying Canara Digital in the first is my question, right? So before we address this, let's understand the process of getting the information to the Google server and displaying it in the front end. How is Google working? First thing, Google has sent a bot to internet server, right? This bot's work is to read all the information, which is crawling. We are going to use crawling word quite often. Crawls, takes a snapshot or photo or a copy of it and puts into the Google server, right? Bot is working like a slave in getting the information. It's always 24 hours it's working. It has to serve up-to-date information, right? It cannot say, okay, I have bought information about Salman Khan 10 years back and I'll not get the information again. Every minute, every second, it will be hunting for Salman Khan information. Because again, today something happened and it has to show up-to-date information, right? So bot is continuously working always and getting the information and keeping it on the Google server, right? And now when you ask for something, how often bot is updating information? See, the results that Google is displaying are fully the efforts of bots. Bot is struggling, bot is working 24 hours, right? And storing the information. On top of it, they have built some logic. Which website has to be shown first? Which information has to be served first? We are going to discuss that as well. But up to here it is clear. Can you explain now how search engines work? Can anybody explain how search engines work? Google has written a program, or maybe you simply call it as Google bots go to the internet server, right? Who is telling for Google bot to go to the internet server? Google itself is telling. Google has written it in such a way where the work of this bot, the program is to go to the internet, right? Explore all the content that's available, right? Crawling, it crawls all the content or information and gets a copy back to Google server and stores it, which is called as this copy. We don't call it as copy, we call it as indexing. Indexing is storing a copy pertaining to your website or any piece of information from the internet server is called as indexing.
Index?
Indexing.
Indexing.
So basically, crawling is reading
And indexing is storing.
storing.
Right? Clear? Crawling is nothing but reading, but we don't use the word reading. Right? And storing the information pertaining to your website or any website on Google server is called as indexing. We are not going to use the word storing. Crawling and indexing. Right? Up to here it's clear. Right? So after that only Google would start showing your website on Google search. Right? Now the second biggest unanswered question on the internet is why is it showing this website in the top and why not this website in the top? Everybody are into training, SFMC training. Why is that this website is in the top? Why not this website in the top? So now the random useless answers that you get to hear on the internet is they are doing SEO. Everybody are doing SEO. Now they get more deeper. They say they are using keywords. Everybody are using keywords.
We
They
have
say
to
that they
update
have
every
content.
time new things.
We don't update anything at all,
Okay.
right? So they tell, see exactly the same. So you seem to have watched some videos or heard from people that you have to keep updating, right? You have to, but how it works?
So many of them they visited like today and they said you have to do this and all.
Yes, they all must have explained. Now you will be able to gauge them if going forward if anybody comes and explains, boss, I know how to do it. Okay. So people will tell you have to build backlinks also. And if you ask why backlinks have to be built, there won't be any answer. They will backlink. Heard of it, right?
I just heard.
Heard of it. So some of you heard of it, I believe. But digital marketers will be able to love this class. You are not digital marketers yet, but if there is any digital marketer listening to this, they'll definitely like this class because they know the problem in the domain. They don't know the how search engines work. For you, it's a plain information now. You are not hunger, right? So here, actually, few years experienced digital marketers come and they get answers and they love the classes, right? See, for you, see, it's fact. You will not understand the worth of information until unless you are deprived of it. It is something like that, whatsoever it is. Okay, but anyways, no problem. So because you are fresher in the domain, you will not understand it. But definitely, this information is going to help you and build the best strategies if you are emerging as a digital marketers. Okay, so whatever we discuss everything like this. Okay, so now this question, I'll give you a few days of time if you want. You go research anywhere. Why is this website ranking in the top? Not this website. Take any example by Kurta for men or women, whatsoever. Why is
Always Myntra is there.
why is Myntra ranking in the top? Or maybe I'll take a different example. Not really. Myntra, Nalli. Right. So why is Myntra ranking in the top? Maybe I'll take a different one. Apple, or maybe I'll put a different one by let's assume Flipkart is ranking in the top or maybe Apple whatsoever. Now my question is why is any website that's ranking by formal shoes online. Okay. So why is Myntra ranking in the top?
All products Myntra is there. Any products, all Myntra is there.
Is it? Why?
Amazon, I think Amazon should be topper.
But here now it is showing Myntra.
Myntra is not optimizing for these kinds of keywords. Okay. So let me take this one only. Anything is fine. Any keyword, whichever it is, Myntra or Jabong or Flipkart or Amazon. I want an answer from you. Why is it ranking in the top? Or maybe you take this example. Why is if I put
Because
this
they have many users
Everybody is spending. Right? See, look at this. In this case, mind magic.
Indra started in HSR only. Because of that. Oh. Indra started in HSR actually.
That's,
Store.
Yeah.
So-
Indra started in HSR.
Store.
Yeah, store. They started near my old customer.
okay. That is not a answer still. Okay. So if you are starting, if you are going to BTM and searching, and if there is anything located in BTM, that will show in the top. See, that's not applicable for e-commerce industry. Location thing works very well for local businesses like digital marketing institute, restaurant, pub, right, saloon, beauty parlor. These are all called as
Local.
local businesses. But e-commerce stores, it doesn't matter, right? Training institute also local, or it can be global also, right? So now, why is it ranking in the first position? You take any keyword of your choice, maybe your pest control, you search for something and you will see some websites. Everybody
Yeah, I
are
see-
into pest
yeah,
control.
exactly. I see in the tattoo studio if I go, the body arts will show every time. Let's say institute where I learned tattoo. See how that made a video of that. Yeah.
This is Google business listing because they are very old. They are maintaining this profile. We'll discuss how to show up your website as well in the top, your business as well in the top. This thing also we're going to discuss.
And
Right.
Machu, it is his close friends.
Okay. They have an advantage of coming first in the industry and from very long time
What I see,
and
they
serve a
have-
lot of customers word of mouth, and most probably somewhere around also. They are both are from HSR, right?
No, that is they are from BDM.
This is
BDM,
HSR.
both
That
are
is
BDM.
Both
yeah,
are
both.
BDM. Okay. They made name see Instagram Masu and
In keywords, they mention HSR and some tattoo things also.
we'll discuss that how do we make,
Up.
but this is not a right example for me. If I have to take another example,